to take time to talk about, can the narcissist change? It's a problem that we're facing when we're in a relationship, when we come to the point where we have been so devastated, so hurt, and we start recognizing, I think this person's a narcissist. Can they change, right? Because if things can't get better, if they're staying the same or getting worse, there's no way we can stay. It is that bad. So it's devastating when we hear that the narcissist can't change, and it's really hard to wrap our head around why it couldn't change. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about why it is that the narcissist can't change. What are the traits and the problems or the issues that make it impossible for them to change? So let's start with us, what we know about us. As a codependent person or as an empath, the person who is with someone who is narcissistic is willing to put in the time, the effort, the love, the time, and the intention. We know that about ourselves. And so we want to assume that the other person has that same capability, that same intention behind what they do. What we have failed to realize is that the other person doesn't have the capabilities. It's like they're stunted in a childlike state where they're not able to have that growth potential. They don't have the ability to have that empathy, to have that sensitivity to what somebody else feels. It's all about them. So if it's always all about them, how would there ever be a shift or a change to help someone else, to make it work? Well, we think, well, if it was important to them, then they'd want to do it. If I was important to them, they would want to do it. Unfortunately, it's not a value or devalue of who we are, of what we've done, or what we're capable of giving. It's their inability to give back. They can take, they can receive, but they cannot give. Their intention is to withhold. Their intention is to take from you, from all people around them, and not to give back because they don't see that there's value to give to anyone. And I know it's hard because we see them changing with other people. We see glimpses of who they used to be, but they can pretend to be anything. They can pretend to do any changes. The problem is that the change is not permanent. The change is about a temporary situation where they can play the part until they get their needs met. It's always an audition that's going on. So when you see them giving to somebody else and they're changing and they're giving this person everything you wanted, that's for show. That's probably for show not only for them, but as a triangulation show for you. Because if you see someone receiving everything you asked for, that makes it harder to break free from them. That's more torturous for you because they're in such a place of wanting to harm other people that give them a narcissistic injury, right? So if they don't get their way, like a child having a temper tantrum, and a child that says, I hate you, mommy, or I hate you, daddy, that's what they're doing. They're having a temper tantrum, and that is their way of getting back. A child does not understand until you explain it to them that that hurt my feelings, that was not respectful. And then in hindsight, they can look back and feel bad about it. The narcissist doesn't have that capability. They've been already past that point of no return, that they can't give that to you. They can't give it to themselves. They can't self-soothe. They can't feel better. They cannot fix the core of what is wrong within them. There's new studies that are out, that are coming out, that are showing that the brain has different capabilities that they don't have. And so coming down the pike, keep watching, more information is hitting the psychology realm on a conference I just went to. So in regards to what they're capable of, they don't have it. And so when we've been waiting for it and expecting it and seeing glimpses of it, because they show us little bits and pieces of change, that is not an indicator that it's permanent change. It's like someone who's gone on a diet, or they stopped smoking and they're hiding cigarettes somewhere, or they're hiding food somewhere. They can make it look like they're dieting to the people that they're not eating the stuff around you, but behind your back, they're still doing what they're doing, because at the core, the reason they're doing it is not been addressed. So, and it's emotional reason. With someone who is a narcissist, the emotional reason behind it, they have learned that the only way to self-soothe themselves is to take advantage and feel like they are special. They are more important. They can, they're smarter than you. They can pull the wool over your eyes. Everything they do is underhanded, mean, and vindictive. So behind what they're doing, the intention is not to be making us happy, is not to have peace, love, and joy. Their goal is to bring other people down to their misery. That type of person doesn't have the capability to rise up into that realm of being. They don't have that type of vibe. They don't have that energy. They don't have the ability to be what we want them to be. And it's really, really hard to come to terms with and to accept, because for years we've held on to hope and we have wanted things to work. And when we saw a small glimpse, that's all we needed. But as that light becomes dimmer and dimmer over time, we start questioning everything from the past as the truth comes out. There are stages. So in the beginning, it's, I'm not believing that this is happening to me. I need to look for a proof. And so then you go into a detective mode and you need to validate that your perception is true, because you've been gaslit so much that you don't know. So you're in this confusion, you're in a form of depression, you are being triggered by the outside world of the new information. It's as if you woke up into a life that's a nightmare. And you wish you could just wake up from it, because everything you thought and you believed and you trusted in and you put all your hopes and dreams in seemed to be crushed. But just know that this is one of the steps towards healing. Being able to see it as it is and understand that the only way out is to save yourself, is to focus on you, to heal from what you've been through. Because this is like being in a war zone, being with a narcissist. We get re-victimized through the process of getting a divorce. We get re-victimized by flying monkeys and people that they have been triangulating us against, whether it be family and friends. And we have to rebuild everything. But the good news is that we can. The narcissist will be stuck in this nightmare that they have been living for years. This is so entrenched of who they are. They cannot stay in truth, and they cannot stay in reality. We were scripted into a play we didn't know that we were playing in. And I will tell you that in time, in working on you and doing what you will begin to see is best for you, it will become the best thing that you have ever done. Maybe perhaps the hardest, but the best. I see lots of peace, love, and joy in your future. I know I am finding more in mine every day. And I welcome you to a community of survivors. And I know that you've got this. Please stay tuned. Keep working on you. Learn what you need to learn. All of this is going to help prevent toxins in the future, other toxic relationships, and learning to heal old injuries that the narcissist played upon for years. You've got this. For more information and more support, see the links below